Other Yellow Hat Guy here, back with another video, and it finally debuted, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Yes, Volume 3, this is the last one, at least in this series. That's not to say they won't come out with more Guardians, but think of it like the Avengers movies and all that. They're kind of, the last ones are like the bookend, the reality is. These are actors and actresses with their own lives. Just imagine being somebody who you sign some kind of contract saying you can't have a baby for X amount of years because you're going to be stuck in this role. Who knows what these contracts are like? But for some of these guys and gals, they're wearing makeup for hours on end, doing all these different scenes, and you get tired of it. You get tired of it, and it's hard to commit to something for so long into the future. So this one right here was going to be the tail end of that series. So what this entails is the backstory of Rocket Raccoon. Why is he Rocket Raccoon? How is he Rocket Raccoon? It's bittersweet. It deals with the fallout from Avengers Infinity War and even the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. If you haven't seen that, check that out. That was on Disney Plus. It was pretty good for, what it was, I would say. It's not a full-fledged, movie, but, it was a holiday special. Think of like Star Wars Holiday Special. James Gunn, the director of this and all of those, I think he took that approach with the Guardians series, thinking of it like, a Star Wars kind of thing. I know I said Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania was like Marvel Star Wars. If you think of the very first Star Wars, right? The plots were similar, but the intergalactic approach for Guardians of the Galaxy has kind of been in that narrative. But, you got James Gunn's signature style of adding, older and newer music to enhance action sequences or emotions. So that continues here. I liked what they did with all the characters. They got more individual time. It wasn't like it was just about Rocket Raccoon, even though he was the focus. They did a lot of cutaways and flashbacks to different times in Rocket's life. And we see the evolution. The villain here, the High Evolutionary, was played excellently. I know Jonathan Majors is going through some stuff right now, so if they recast him, I think that guy would be perfect, whoever they got there. He was, some of you may or may not relate, but if you had like an African or a parent from that grew up overseas and they're pressuring you to make straight A's and to be better, to be perfect. I felt that with this guy. You're making A minuses, and here's this guy yelling at you saying it's not good enough. I felt that the whole movie, because really what he wants is perfection, and he thought he had that in somebody like Rocket Raccoon. But I won't give too much of the movie away. You'll just have to see more of that. There were sad moments in this movie. There were some funny moments, but for me, mostly sad with some things I'm going through in my personal life. So with this movie having closure, it was kind of what I needed, if you will. Sometimes, you watch movies and they take you away from what's going on in reality, but you should never, and this is just my advice, you should never allow those things to direct what you do with your life either, because they are, after all, just movies. So, sometimes art can be stranger, life can be stranger than fiction, and sometimes the other way around. But overall, I enjoyed this movie. I would say my favorite character was still Nebula. I liked the character growth. If you compare her to, how she was in Infinity War and the other Guardians movies, how she was now, she was really a leader. I can't say that the whole time I was looking at that character I wasn't thinking of Billy Corgan. It was very weird because, she had this whole robotic, intergalactic vampire type vibe and the bald head. So yeah, it made me, I guess because I've been listening to some podcasts of his lately and music, that I was reminded of him. But overall, that was my favorite character. I liked what they did. They gave Mantis some more lines and more of a, dignified role. And, you know, they kind of let Star-Lord play into the background. He was still, you know, the leader of this franchise, you know, but they let other characters do their thing. So the action was good. I liked one of the places they visited, which was a counter Earth, which was basically Earth. I don't know if that was their way of being lazy, but they had like a counter Earth that was just, you know, probably wherever they filmed the movie at, somewhere in New Zealand, right? And then they had a bunch of extras where, you know, different animal-like masks, because the counter Earth was, you know, if you look at it on our Earth, you've got humans as the dominant species, and then you have, you know, animals. But on the counter Earth, it could be the other way around, where humans could be the pets and animals are the dominant species. So it was neat to see that, but you know, it added to some of the humor, I guess, if you will. But this movie was all about, you know, how Rocket became to be, and closure to these characters. Oftentimes with these movies, they set up for the future. So we really weren't sure where this one is going after that. But it doesn't mean that it's all over. Some of these characters could just cameo in other movies. I'm sure that's what happened, because the honest truth is, when you look back at Infinity War, you look back at, you know, Infinity Gauntlet, all that, the way the books went, I know they're different from the movies, but they should have had some of these characters, right? We had Adam Warlock debut here. He should have been in Endgame and Infinity War. He wasn't for different reasons, but they finally got him in here, and hopefully we see more of him in the future. I believe we will going forward. Characters like him, Silver Surfer, the next, you know, intergalactic event should have them, Fantastic Four, all of that. So, you know, maybe they bring Thanos back and do something, who knows? The possibilities are endless here. But overall, I think I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. So out of Earthworm Jim's, I think 3 is too low. So it would have to be a 4. It would have to be a 4, because I can't give 3.5 Earthworm Jim's. So it would lean to a 4. I'm really not sure though, because I know in the future somebody's gonna say you gave that a 4. It definitely wasn't a 4, but it was better than a 3. So I'll just put a 4 up there, but understand that I'm definitely saying like 3.5. Okay. So let me know what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy this movie? Would you see it again? Me personally, I don't know if I'll go to the theater to see it again. It was a bit long for me, but you know, it's. And when maybe it wasn't that long. The movie was a bit emotional for me, so I would need some time if I were to watch it again. Not in theaters though. I believe this movie is going to be the one that dethrones Mario from #1. But you know, hey, Mario's already made $1 billion, so it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what movies you would want me to watch in the future, and I will see you in the next one. The Yellow Hat Guy is out. Captain Sensation!